On the surface, Richard Pryor's 1982 film The Toy appears to be a simple comedy about a wealthy businessman who literally purchases a human being as a plaything for his spoiled son. But from its opening frames, director Richard Donner establishes this as a film about transactional relationships in a capitalist society. The U.S. Bates department store, where Pryor's character Jack Brown works, isn't just a setting. It's a microcosm of America's economic hierarchy. Every interaction is framed through the lens of value and exchange, from the security guard's petty authority to the manager's corporate doublespeak. When Bates's son Eric enters this world, he doesn't see people. He sees potential acquisitions, reflecting how wealth can distort human perception. Richard Pryor's casting as Jack Brown represents one of Hollywood's most complex intersections of actor and role. Coming off his stand-up peak and previous film successes, Pryor brought both comedic brilliance and personal vulnerability to a character who becomes a literal commodity. The film's central premise, that a black man could be purchased by a white billionaire, carries uncomfortable historical echoes that the screenplay never fully acknowledges. Yet Pryor's performance transcends the problematic setup through subtle resistance. Watch how he maintains dignity even while being inspected by Bates. The slight tension in his shoulders, the careful modulation of his voice. This isn't just comedy, it's a masterclass in navigating oppressive systems while preserving selfhood. Jack Lemmon's U.S. Bates deserves re-evaluation as one of cinema's most nuanced portrayals of capitalist pathology. Unlike typical villainous billionaires, Bates genuinely believes he's solving problems through financial means. His purchase of Jack Brown isn't presented as malicious, but as logical within his worldview. If money can buy happiness for his son, why shouldn't it? Lemmon's genius lies in showing how privilege creates emotional blindness. When Bates explains his philosophy, in America, you can buy anything. He delivers it not as a boast but as simple fact. This normalization of human commodification makes the character more terrifying than any mustache-twirling capitalist caricature could ever be. The relationship between Jack Brown and Eric Bates evolves from transaction to genuine connection, serving as the film's moral center. Initially, Eric treats Jack as he would any expensive toy, testing boundaries, demanding performance, expecting constant entertainment. But Pryor's character refuses to remain an object through small acts of rebellion, teaching Eric about his own family, sharing authentic experiences from his life. Jack gradually humanizes himself in the boy's eyes. Their fishing trip sequence is particularly significant. Away from the Bates mansion's opulence, in nature's neutral territory, they relate as equals. This progression suggests that genuine human connection requires escaping capitalism's transactional frameworks. Director Richard Donner uses visual language to reinforce the film's class commentary through deliberate production design choices. The Bates mansion isn't just large, it's deliberately sterile, filled with expensive objects but devoid of warmth. Contrast this with Jack's modest apartment, shown briefly but memorably, cluttered with personal items, family photos, evidence of lived experience. The department store where Jack works is another carefully constructed space, all fluorescent lighting and endless aisles, representing capitalism's impersonal machinery. Even the color palette tells a story. Cool blues and grays dominate the wealthy spaces, while warmer tones appear in Jack's world. These visual cues reinforce the film's argument about what truly constitutes wealth. The film's controversial third act, where Jack organizes a protest against Bates's newspaper, represents Hollywood's attempt to reconcile comedy with social commentary. While some critics dismiss this as narrative convenience, It actually completes the film's thesis about reclaiming agency. Jack transforms from purchased object to organizing force using the very systems that oppressed him to challenge power. The protest scene's tone walks a delicate line, maintaining comedic elements while showing collective action's power. Bates's eventual realization that he can't control everything through wealth marks the film's moral victory, suggesting that even entrenched systems can be challenged when people recognize their shared humanity over economic status. Examining the toy through contemporary lenses reveals its prescient commentary on performative allyship and corporate social responsibility. Bates's newspaper runs stories about minority communities while exploiting actual minority individuals in his personal life, a hypocrisy that mirrors modern corporations' diversity marketing versus actual practices. The film questions whether privileged assistance that maintains power structures constitutes genuine progress. When Bates offers Jack a better job at the protest's conclusion, it's framed as resolution, but contemporary viewers might question whether this individual mobility addresses systemic issues. The toy suggests that true change requires dismantling transactional relationships entirely, not just improving their terms for select individuals. The film's reception history reflects America's evolving conversation about race and class. Initially criticized for its premise's discomfort, then largely forgotten as Pryor's later work overshadowed it, the toy has experienced critical reevaluation in recent years. Modern viewers recognize how its exaggerated scenario reveals uncomfortable truths about economic relationships we accept as normal. The very aspects that made 1982 audiences uneasy, the blunt depiction of human commodification, now read as brave social commentary. This shifting reception demonstrates how art can be ahead of its time, presenting ideas too challenging for their moment but gaining relevance as society catches up to their implications. Comparing the toy to other class-conscious comedies of its era reveals its unique approach. While Trading Places explored economic reversal through farce and Brewster's Millions addressed sudden wealth's corrupting influence, the toy remains distinctive in its focus on literal human purchase. This extreme metaphor allows the film to examine capitalism's logical conclusion. If everything has a price, why not people? The film's courage lies in not backing away from this premise's disturbing implications. Unlike many 1980s comedies that ultimately reaffirmed the status quo, the toy's resolution requires fundamental change in its wealthy character's worldview, a surprisingly radical message for mainstream Hollywood. Ultimately, the toy endures not despite its uncomfortable premise, but because of it. In an era of increasing wealth inequality and debates about economic justice, the film's central question, what happens when human value becomes transactional, feels urgently relevant. Richard Pryor's performance transforms what could have been offensive into profound social commentary, while Jack Lemmon's nuanced portrayal prevents easy villainization. The film challenges viewers to examine their own economic relationships and assumptions about value. 4 decades later, the toy stands as a testament to how popular comedy can tackle serious social issues, using laughter not to dismiss discomfort, but to make difficult truths more accessible and ultimately more powerful.